Welcome back to the Northwest Showcase on 93.9 KPDQ, sponsored by Day Chiropractic. We're talking with Dr. David Day. His practice is at 3758 Southeast 122nd Avenue. That's just south of Powell, right there in Portland,
Yep.
right? Okay,
Absolutely.
that's 3758 Southeast 122nd Avenue. The phone number to make an appointment is 503-760-7572. And feel free to call the number here in the studio. Maybe you have a question about something that you're going through and you'd like to talk to Dr. Day. He'd be happy to answer your question at 503-786-9390. That's 503-786-9390. And daychiropractic.com is a great place to go because you've got lots of great information on your website, don't you, Dr.
Absolutely.
Day?
We've got a lot of videos. In fact, we're going to videotape this program, so it'll be up there. So if you're listening, oh no, I wish my Aunt Mary would have heard this thing, then you can tell her to go to that website and she'll be able to watch it in a couple days once I upload it.
Wonderful.
So something else, we've got new office hours.
Okay.
What happened, as I've been talking to patients, if you work 5 days a week, let's say you work Monday through Friday, trying to get to a doctor's office
It's
is
almost impossible,
a real
isn't it?
frustration.
Yeah, yeah.
So what I've done is I've opened up where I had been working just Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Now what I've been doing is working long hours. So I work till 6 at night. So if you have to get across and come in, you can get in. And I start at 7:30 in the morning.
Okay.
But what I'm doing now is I'm coming in for a couple hours on Friday morning and then a couple hours on Saturday morning.
Oh, on Saturdays,
On Saturday
too.
as well.
Wow.
So I'll be there. So basically on Fridays I'm there from 9 to 11 and Saturdays from 9 till 11. So now the one thing about Saturdays, you do have to understand it. If I'm out of town, I'm closed.
Okay, yeah.
So what I've done is on my website, if you go to click on calendars, and then what I'm trying to communicate is that if you go, you can look at the day you're interested in. If you see that I'm open or closed, like I do some musical gigs, like so.
Yes,
so
we've
things,
heard about
you've
your
heard about
musical
that, right?
talents
So, hey, by the way, I'll be doing an open. That's right. Ace Hardware is doing an a grand opening in Happy Valley that we'll be playing music for that on Friday and Saturday. But
We want to hear more about that in a
oh,
moment.
we've got a lot of stuff going on. But
Yeah.
anyhow, but you do want to look and make sure you have an appointment. But we do now have that, and I'm there most Saturdays.
Well, that's very accommodating for
Yeah.
people's schedules because it is hard during the week to get
And
in
it's
to
such
see
a
a
blessing.
doctor. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyhow, so the next thing, what I wanted to talk about was allergies.
A lot of people,
So-
a lot of people are suffering from allergies
That's
right now.
So if you want a copy of this article, call my office because this has been one of the most popular ones of the patients when they pick this up because we all know people. If you watch
Oh, yeah.
Facebook, in fact, I have one of my friends. He just posted he's having miserable things. Now, I didn't send a message to him. It's about all I could. I go, oh, chiropractic. You should try. But anyhow,
Yeah.
I try to resist. But
Well, you should, though.
I know it. But it's really I'm always torn. I don't know. Sometimes when I talk about chiropractic, because I am the chiropractor, I think sometimes people question it a little bit. So one of the things I appreciate about these articles is they're published studies.
Yeah,
it's not me saying it per
right,
se, but
right.
it's and I can tell you my experience. In fact, I will tell you it a little bit later on as we get through this because this is something that's really exciting to talk about. So basically, what causes allergies? So seasonal allergies are a form of allergic rhinitis or inflammation of the nose. All right, occurs when the immune system, and this is really, we have to think about this.
Okay.
It's when the immune system reacts defensively to harmless substances.
So usually it's fighting off the bad germs
That's
and
correct.
all of that stuff.
So what happens if it reacts to something like pollen, mold, or pet dander that is not an invading?
It's not going to hurt you.
It's
really.
not going to hurt you,
Yeah.
but your body mounts a response to that by your immune system where it thinks that pollen is attacking you, and it mounts a response to that pollen as if
Okay.
it was an invasion. This
So
is
it's
what-
not getting the right message then,
That's
is it?
correct. It's so you go, hey, wait a minute here. So I mean, the traditional things. Well, the pollen count is high, and well, I can't go outside. I'm gonna breathe. And you say, people, stop that. Let's not look at the pollen because there are a lot of people living just like it
Just
doesn't.
fine.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The problem is not the pollen. The problem is you. Why is your body reacting to
reaction
pollen
to the
like it's
pollen,
something
right.
that's invading your system, right? So anyhow, then we talk about the things like family histories, eczema, and all that sort of stuff. And all right, got it. But the problems there, if you take allergy medications and you're trying to do a job where you drive, let's say you're a taxi driver, you're driving a car, and you take some sort of antihistamine or something that makes you groggy, you're a hazard driving.
Oh, sure.
Right? So a lot of the medications have problems, and so people are trying to find things that are natural. So a lot of times people will have done things like because let's make sure that you understand you can flush out your sinuses with a neti pot or inhaling some, even saline or something like that. So make sure you know about that. I don't want to assume people don't know that that's something that you can do, because there are studies that have been done. For instance, there was a clinical trial at the University of Wisconsin. Patients who used nasal irrigation daily for 6 months had fewer sinonasal symptoms and used less medication than those in a control group. Okay,
so that might
so
work
that
for
was
some
done
people.
exactly. Because, and I would say, if this is a huge problem for you, you should, let's make sure kind of you've got a few of these things covered at least. Although my point is, by the time I see patients, and this is such a problem,
tried everything.
they've already tried a lot of this stuff. Although
Okay.
I don't want to assume that, because sometimes some of these real basic, we forget a real basic step. So, just like someone whose back is sore, if they haven't iced it, they know about ice, but no, did you actually ice your back? No, I never got around. It's like, come on, let's really do the basic things.
Yeah.
All right. So here was another research study that found nasal irrigation safe and effective for adults and children against sinonasal conditions such as allergies, sinus infections, and asthma. Right.
Oh,
so you go, but they're kind of related.
Okay.
All right. So then we say, well, what can I do nutritional? So vitamin C. Make sure you're doing something like that, because it suppresses histamine production by white blood cells. It's a powerful antioxidant, and it's found in things like rose hips, acerola, red peppers, guava, kiwi fruit, and broccoli. So essentially what you realize is, if I'm eating fresh fruits and vegetables the way I'm supposed to, I'll be getting a lot of these things
already,
assuming it's in the foods that I'm eating.
Right.
So we have some issues there, but so we want to make sure you're taking vitamin C. There was a research study done on vitamin C specifically, and that was used. They had a vitamin C nasal spray on patients suffering from allergic rhinitis. After 2 weeks of daily treatment, 74% experienced significant release of inflammation and nasal secretions. So that's a vitamin C laden spray.
Wow.
You go, oh, that's interesting, right? So these sorts of things. Carotenoids, so things they lower levels of inflammation. Those would be things like apricots, carrots, pumpkins, sweet potatoes, spinach, kale, butternut, squash, and collard greens.
There's that word kale again.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Omega-3 fatty acids is one of the essential fatty acids, and it helps lower the inflammatory aspect of it. So that would be fish oils, flaxseed, walnuts, those types of things. And there are other supplements, some bromelain, some various things. So I don't want to go there. I wanted to, but for some of you, this might be really important information you haven't gotten yet.
Sure,
so if this does interest you, it's well laid out in this article, and I'd be happy to send it to you if you're interested.
So say people are trying all of these things already, and they're still suffering.
See, a lot of times they've already tried this, or they've been down this pathway, and it's just been real frustrating. So where do I kind of step into this?
Yeah.
So one would be probiotics.
Probiotics. Like yogurt?
Yes.
Okay.
You go, wait a minute, but it's my nose, doc. I know. But it's not your nose. It's your immune system.
Okay.
So in our gut, we have what? 5 pounds of these.
We have bacteria.
Right? We've got all this stuff growing, right?
Yeah.
This is what really helps our immune system. This is a really important aspect of our immune system is our gut, the flora and fauna. And so let's say you have a kid who has a lot of allergies. I wouldn't be surprised if that child happened to have a lot of ear infections. And what do they do with ear infections? They give them antibiotics. What do these kids not like to eat? They don't like to eat any of the things that have active cultures in them, right?
Yeah.
You're probably not giving them probiotics to restore the flora and fauna. So this is something that a lot of people are not doing. And it should be one of the first things that you should do. And that's because we're thinking about this like a whole person problem. It's not my nose and my eyes, right? It's my immune system that's not working right. And see, that's why our chiropractic is going to step into this thing.
A little bit larger, don't you?
Yes, don't think about the symptom. That's just the symptom. But what's wrong in your body?
What's causing that symptom? Okay.
All right. So we've got to do that. And what protects the digestive system protects the entire body, including the nose and sinuses. Embryologically, the gut and the skin surfaces are the same branch. So the gut and skin. So if you have eczema, look to the gut. There's often a tie there. Okay. So one investigation comparing intestinal flora of allergic and non-allergic children shows 2 common probiotic microbes that existed in much higher levels in non-allergic children. So when they looked at these 2 kids, they had these couple of bacteria that were much higher in the ones who were not having allergies, and the ones in the allergy problems, they didn't have as many.
So maybe they need some of that bacteria.
They need the good ones.
Okay.
Okay. So other studies reviewed show the potential of probiotics to manage seasonal allergies and other allergic conditions. So probiotics are available in yogurt and other lacto-fermented foods, as well as in capsule form. And I would almost encourage people to do more of the capsules because I also think some of these kids or some of these people, you might have a milk or a dairy allergy.
Could be, yeah.
So I would almost encourage you to go down a pathway that's non-milk based. Okay? So as opposed to yogurt, I would probably go find a different source, and you can go to and you want one that's refrigerated and so forth. Okay? So stress reduction. So stress and fatigue may exacerbate allergies. Why? Because of the adrenal gland, right? So this is why when I test you, let's say you've got allergies and you're walking to my office and you say, okay, doc, I want to try this out. It sounds great, but I'm real skeptical. One of the things we're going to look at is your stress levels, because if you have a high level of stress, you may have some adrenal fatigue, and the adrenals actually are in your mid-lower back. Now, I don't care if that part of your back is sore or not. If the adrenal needs to be nurtured, it could be having it may be choking off some of that adrenal, the nerve to the adrenal gland, which may be part of your problem. All right, but we also have to deal with the stress and things like that. But I did have a patient. He's been basically what I would consider a wellness patient. He'd been coming in once a month for many years. But he came in and he was complaining about these allergies, and I said, let's try something. I scheduled him 3 times a week, and within a couple of weeks, the allergies had stopped.
Completely stopped?
Completely stopped.
Wow.
He had never thought about chiropractic and allergies. He had been one of these guys taking these allergy pills, but this year it was more than he could bear. And I actually he didn't believe, he thought I was blowing smoke up his butt. I do not think he believed it, but he said, okay, doc, I don't have anything to lose. I've tried so much, I'll try it.
Yeah.
So if you are having allergies and you think this sounds crazy, give me a month and let's see.
Okay.
All right?
Wow. And that would be a great time to come in.
Yes.
If you're a new patient, $25 to come in and you get them
3
started.
times a week for a month, it's not that much money compared with how miserable your life is.
Oh, no. And probably the money you've wasted in allergy pills and doctor visits and everything else.
Loss of sleep. I mean, you're miserable.
Maybe loss of work
Yes.
because you didn't go in because you weren't feeling well. And this is really not that bad a deal to go in and get started for $25 to Dr. Day at Day Chiropractic. 3758 Southeast 122nd Avenue is where you'll find the practice, Day Chiropractic. That phone number, 503-760-7572. That's 503-760-7572. DayChiropractic.com is the website. You can go on there and see some things that Dr. Day is doing, and he's a busy guy, and all kinds of things about his practice too. And he takes the whole person approach. He's looking at everything and how your body works together and all the different systems. And we're going to be talking some more with Dr. Day here and find out more about some of the things that chiropractic can help out with. If you'd like to call in, 503-786-9390 is our number here in the studio. 503-786-9390. We'll be back to the Northwest Showcase in a moment on 93.9 KPDQ.